So apparently, when you say "I wish" in Spanish, you're like giving praise to the God Allah, right? So when you say "bless you" in the same way in English, it's a little bit more direct. You're saying something like "bless you," right? It sounds exactly like it. It's because it is. So if the language designed to enslave people has it as its purpose, right? So to have you being less you all the time, it should be in every movie, right? It is. It is apparently in Shrek. Both the main characters, they can't connect as their true self, right? A princess and an ogre, they need to change themselves and be some sort of forced equality, right, between them. Otherwise, the princess is repelled by the ogre, who is like too brute or something like this, and the ogre is repelled by the girl who's like too much of a rich girl or something like this. Interestingly, however, she seems to be in some sort of meditative state, some sort of peace, some sort of silence, I could say, while she's waiting in that dreadful tower with the dragon or something. So it seems to me that it's a huge contrast to maybe the third movie where they're like fighting all the time. I think that's pretty weird because you would think if you find true love with your ogre, right, you become an ogre too, that's the problem, then you could be peacefully silent all the time and that's it. But no, they're constantly facing new issues. I don't remember the fucking like plot, okay, but like you get the point. So being yourself is a state of silence because all kids have a bunch of personality and they don't need to think about who they are, right? They just are. So whenever someone points you in a direction, right, to be yourself, they are actually getting you further away. So this would be why every day, like, I don't know, billions of people are saying bless you, which means bless you, meaning you don't deserve love if you're not yourself. Like, you don't deserve love as a non-effort. Like, you have to make an effort to deserve love. That's conditional love, which is the one that this world will give you, right? Like if you go to work, you'll deserve food, but you don't deserve food. Like if you have to go to work to deserve food, it is implied in the sentence that you don't deserve food. So, for example, when you teach a kid that they should love themselves, it is implied that they don't love themselves already. So it's sort of like you're cursing them. You're sending a hex directly to their minds. If you could shut the fuck up and not even say, listen, you need to learn. Like, let's take some. Because I saw one day walking like a kindergarten, something like that, and they said there was this sign. They were like self-love classes. Like they were going to teach the kids self-love. Like they don't need to learn anything. In fact, this reminds me that the etymology of education is one that you'll find incredibly interesting right now because it is extracting the knowledge that you already have inherent to you, no need for any books, and making you fucking stupid. Potentially, ideally, a slave, right? So when you tell the kid you need to love yourself, it is only because they don't love themselves that they can learn the stupidity. So yeah, pretty much will not find yourself in any sort of like duality. Like okay, like in Shrek, they were already themselves, and they should have like stayed together as themselves. It would have worked out a little better, no like fighting over the kids and divorces and whatever the fuck happens later on. Or when you traumatize your kid by telling them they need to learn to love themselves. They were happy before that, so you're causing an energetic contraction in them. They're like, oh, so I don't love myself or something like this. So like if you just don't say anything, it would be ideal if no one ever said anything. But I guess we're pretty far away from that. And then that kid is going to learn to be a different version of themselves. We could say if the princess in Shrek, wasn't traumatized and fragmented by the world, she couldn't be split. That is being said in the movies. It's full of symbolism, like they all are. So if she were to find her true match, I think she could have stayed as a princess all the time. Same for Shrek. I mean, it is literally super implied in the movie that he is super happy as an ogre. So why the fuck did you change yourself to be with someone? It's like Tinder? I don't know. Like, it's stupid. So to unfragment yourself, you need to think less, right? Be less you, be being silent. You need to become empty-headed. It's like an insult, right? In English, empty-headed is an insult? No. Like, it's a compliment. It is the highest compliment to be retarded. So that's my message. Okay,